right, cool. Hi, guys. Happy Thursday. Everyone's smiling. I love it. I love it. Okay, so basically, we wanted to take a few minutes just to share our takeaways from the Danny Johnson event. We're not going to go through everything that she talked about because, quite honestly, you just have to be there to kind of understand where we're coming from. But I have to preface this by saying that when I went there, I had no idea that it was going to be this amazing. I had heard about her. I don't follow her. Now I do. I didn't follow her on social media before, so I didn't know what we were in for until we got there. I thought it was just business oriented, and really it was more than that. It was business oriented, obviously. It was about getting out of debt. It was about building leaders. It was spiritual. It was family oriented. How to really help raise the next generation. I mean, it was just overall, it was so amazing. And the whole time I was there, after when we had breaks or we took lunch, I just, I was connecting with Jorge. I just felt like she was talking to me, that God was talking to me through her. It was just really, really amazing. Because every time we talked about something, we would come into the room and we would be like, look at each other like, wait, is she serious right now? It was like literally like she walked with us to lunch and she heard everything we talked and then she would like address it. I'm like, what the heck? It was like really great, right?
Yes. You want me to elaborate? Okay. So I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna be. I'll be straightforward. I occasionally make a guest appearance. Excuse me.
This is why.
So Gabby's paying a lot she's paying a lot right now for me to be on this call. I'm just teasing. No, really. The reality is, I think that one of the things that we wanted to stress. I've been in sales 19 years. I've been in dental sales. I'm an outside salesperson, like Rudy. I've been doing this for a very long time, and a lot of the things that they preach and what we do is PD, the power of PD, personal development. How else can you get educated and become stronger in your trade? And I took a couple of courses through my 19 years, but never did much. Just never found the time, and never really committed to that. And just learned from other people, but never thought that it was important. And ever since Gabby started her journey 21 months ago, by herself, before all you guys, blessed us with your presence. Gab she's my wife. Obviously, she's very committed to this, and I support her on this. So we've been doing PD together. So she's like, hey, I want to read this book or I want to do this audio. I do a lot of driving, and I just started tackling some PD, and I've been doing a few things here and there as I drive. Right now, I'm doing the entrepreneurial roller coaster. I'm doing that right now.
Maddie's crazy.
All right, I'm done. So I'm opening up myself here to you guys right now. All right, I'm good. All right, so no, seriously. So Gab's like, let's go to Orlando because Danny Johnson doesn't come to New York City for whatever reason. I'm like, really? We can't get something closer? And for me, it was a big move. It was a big investment that we actually flew down to Orlando, spend a pretty penny. I wouldn't say pretty penny, but we spent some money to get down there and take this course. I had no idea what it was going to be about. I didn't do any research, which I normally do. I was just trusting her. And what we experienced in the 3 days that we were there, I had no idea. I was thinking it was going to be a business workshop, how to do this, how to do that. And it was way more than that. And it was just basically having a strong spiritual foundation before being able, starting on a clean slate before being able to have a strong business, whatever it is. If you're in corporate America like myself, if you're doing, your own business like you guys and Gabby, but it related a lot to starting your own business and what it takes to do that. And, you guys, for someone who's in sales, Rudy's in sales, like I said, I know what it takes because I've been to so many trainings to do this type of thing. But you guys, if you don't have that sales background in your blood, how do you go about that? Like, how do you know how to talk to people? How do you know how to prospect people? How do you know how to, just to close people? And that's what I was expecting this workshop to be. But like I said, it was a lot more, and I wouldn't do it any due diligence or giving it any props if I actually try to tell you what we learned in this course. But I was just blown away because this course really, she spoke to us relationship-wise, as me being a father, Gab being a mother, how to relate that and having a family and your own family, how to be, how to deal with your friends, how to deal with the business aspect of it, and how to just pay it forward and just have that, honest, that believing in the higher power and how you can succeed. Everything comes full circle for you if you're doing the right things. And this really spoke to Gab because obviously Team Advent and what it means to the group, and Gab being spiritual, and we both, as we don't go religiously to church, we do believe that there's a higher power. I mean, that's just our opinion. And that played right into that. So this, so what it taught me is just seeing things differently, and, how else will you know how to do this, and the things and the testimonials of people that were at this workshop. I'll give you an example. I know Gab's going to go there, but working smarter, not harder. That's something that in sales that you hear all the time. You don't necessarily need to work hard. Why would you want to work hard in doing this? Because you guys already have a full-time job. The point is that you want to be able to do something effectively in a short period of time. And people that were there were just giving testimonials of, no one could discuss what their business was. That was the number one rule. But, we definitely knew there was a couple of Beachbody coaches there because we've met them at the summit, and they were there and they were giving their testimonials. We're talking, it's not about the money, but we're talking a couple who's making $60,000 a month with Beachbody. And they were one of the couples that went up there and gave their testimonial because they followed this Danny Johnson chick in all her workshops. Hence, we signed up already to go May in Baltimore, which is the second part, which is now building a dynasty. So I wholeheartedly believe in what her message is. But the reason I'm here is just as a husband, as a partner, and everybody either has a significant other or you don't, or you have, going to this course has even made me twofold. Hence why I'm on this call right now to support Gabby stronger and to actually even be more. Because I've always believed in this since we went to Cancun. Ever since we went to Cancun, I'm like, all right, this is the real deal. This is not BS. And we just started moving forward. And I fully commit and support her in her endeavors and with the team. But now that I'm doing, PD on a regular, it's something that has to be a vital behavior for anybody who's still doubting themselves or don't know what direction to take. Gab as the leader of the team is really not her job to tell you guys what to do, because that's not what this is about. You guys didn't sign up to have another boss. Everybody has another boss, and that's not Gab. Gab is just, as a leader, her job is to point you guys in the right direction as to how you guys want to become successful. It's not about questioning or answering to anybody. You guys have your own job for that, and this is not another second job. This is a hobby that, helping others living a fulfilling life that can just build wealth in whatever aspect of your life that you guys want to build. Health, wealth, spiritual well-being, and all that. So I know I'm jabbering here, but there's a couple of other things that we're going to touch on, but that's why I'm on this call, because really now, not only do Gab and I work out and try to help others, I'm really have joined her strongly on the personal development, because there's a lot of things that I'm learning that I thought I knew everything in 19 years of sales. I don't know anything. And I'm learning so much. So I'll turn it back.
Yeah. Just to add to what Jorge was saying really quickly about leadership. One thing that she mentioned that I was like, yeah, she's so on point right here, because we deal with this in our business all the time. Like, how do I become a leader? How do I become a leader? How do I equip you guys to become leaders, right? And it really is all about personal development, whether that's a book, an audio, attending workshops. Those are really, really important, because we're not going to learn from ourselves, obviously, because we don't know all the answers, and that's okay, right? So we have to learn from other people. What's that saying, that if you're the smartest person in the room, go to the next room? So it really boils down to learning from people who are successful. And we need to learn from people who, you know, have what she called the stack, you know, what people who have something to say to show. You know, I've been doing this for 5 years and this is what I've been doing. I've been doing this for a year after me and this has been working. So just really talking to people that are, you know, doing things before us that are successful, or even, you know, with us that is working for them, and just attending workshops that is going to, you know, provide you with the knowledge that we want. So first, I'm going to give you the 4 rules that I want us all to start implementing in our business. I know I will, and I want you guys to implement it as well. And this is what you're going to pass, you know, down to your teams. So first, I want to apologize because in trying to be your leader, I feel that I've actually done things in ways that I may have thought they were correct, because, you know, I've never led a team before. So we learn, right, from our mistakes. But instead of really equipping you guys, is that a word? To be independent, I feel like I've made you guys dependent on me by answering every single question, by just being available 24/7, because I am. And like Jorge said, it's really about working smarter. And what I don't want is a repeat of 2015, because honestly, I lost myself to Beachbody, and I feel that it might have turned off many of you in a way that she's crazy. I'm never going to work as hard as she does. Or she's crazy. I'm never going to work, you know, all those hours, because you guys have, you know, full-time jobs. So basically what I learned from this is that we can do this in a part-time schedule. It's just really about being intentional, being, you know, working from a list where you are really just focusing on what you're doing and not, you know, focusing your energy on other things. Because that's what happens, you know, when we get into Facebook, we go in there, we get lost for an hour or 2 hours, and then you're like, wait, did I invite anyone? Right? So I have to definitely apologize, because I feel that instead of giving you the tools to be independent, I've heard each and every one of you guys to depend on me, and I don't want that. I want you guys to be, you know, independent, so that you can then pass that on to your leaders, to your teams. And guess what? Because when you start to develop those people under you, you're not going to have time. I'm home all day, right? But I committed to this business because I was looking for freedom of time, one of them. And, you know, I want to be able to be more time with Matias, and I was sacrificing that. I was sacrificing time with Jorge, you know, because I believe in our team, because I believe in this business, and I believe the potential of this business. And I don't think that I was working very smart. So I'm going to share the 4 rules, but before that, I am cutting down my hours. I'm only working 4 hours a day. Once I have my schedule put together, I will share it with you guys so that you know when you can reach me. The other thing is, please utilize the chat, and please utilize the team page for what it was created for. I want you guys to, you know, if you're speaking to, because we all are going to have different schedules, right? So I might not be available when Carol is talking to a challenger, a prospect, and she might have a question, and I might not be available. Someone else might. So make sure that you are posting questions in the chat or on the team page, because they were created for that, so that we can support each other, so that we can answer those questions, specifically for the new people, right? How do they learn? They learn from asking questions. And many times I'm answering the same question 1,000 times, because it's my fault, because you guys should be asking it where everyone can see it, because you might not have the same, you might have the same question that everybody else had. And I answered you, and the other person and the other person, and I've just answered the same question 100 times. So we're going to cut down on that because I want, you know, to work smarter moving forward, because I don't want you guys to have to spend all that time and energy on things that are not moving your business forward, right? So we have to focus on the things that are going to move our business forward. And those are doing the trainings when we're supposed to and doing them so that you can learn. And look, this business is not easy, obviously, but as you are doing it, you're going to learn. And as you're asking questions, you're going to learn. But I want all of us to learn at the same time, instead of, Cindy learning this today and then my sister learning it a week later. No, we're learning it at the same time from asking those questions that everybody can see. So these are the 4 rules. No, you can just go into that. So anyway, so I just want to make sure to reiterate that these are the 4 rules that she implemented in her business 27 years ago. And this is what has worked for her 27 years, all 27 years. And it really resonated with me because I feel that I've been doing things backwards. And that's why I apologize to you guys. I want you guys to know that this business can definitely be worked, on half the time, and you could still live that moment with your family, with your significant other, with your job, be fully committed there, and then just work Beachbody whenever you have to work Beachbody. Because I don't want you thinking that I'm crazy, which I am, but I don't want you guys thinking that I am crazy or that you can never do what Gabby does, because you can. And I'm going to prove that to you because I'm cutting down my hours and I'm going to be more intentional and focused. So the 4 rules, 1 is, and I want you, I'm actually going to implement this with you guys, but I want you guys to be able to implement this with your team. So 1, if you give me an excuse, I will not work with you. If you give me an excuse, I will not work with you. Listen, we all have lives. We all have problems. We all do. Obviously, I never, share my problems with you guys because as your team leader, I need to deal with them on my own. I'm not saying that you guys can't come to me and say, Gab, I'm struggling with this. I'm confronting this in my life. Help me figure out how I can work this out around that. And when I say excuse, it's more of, oh, I haven't been inviting because my child is sick. And I'll give you an example because, I have Matias, and I've worked when Matias is sick. I've worked when I'm sick. I've worked when he's sick, right? I've worked through all of that. You just got to find a way to make it work. So that's 1. And that's okay. When people have excuses, that just means that they're not ready to commit to the business, or that happens to our challengers, right? The second one is, if you give me any opinions on how to do this, I will not work with you. If you give me any opinions on how to do this, I will not work with you. And that one is more of, if we know what works, why reinvent the wheel? That doesn't mean that if you have a suggestion as to how to make a system work better and more efficiently, I want to hear that. I want to hear all of that. I want us to work together and make things more efficient, right? To cut time for all of us. But if there are things like, for example, the 3 vital behaviors, we know that works for everybody, right? It's been working for many years for many top coaches. So why would we change that? So that's what that means. If you give me any opinions on how to do this, I will not work with you. The third one is, if you don't follow directions, I will not work with you. I'm an emerald. And at times, she goes over the gems, which was freaking amazing. And with emerald personalities, we we like to follow instructions. And when something works, we're like, just do this. And then when people do it some other way, some different way, you're like, did I tell you to do it this way? You know, and that's just in our personality. But basically, if there's set of directions and we know that they've worked and that they continue to work, not just for me, but for other coaches, then let's just not reinvent the wheel. Let's make sure that we're sticking to that. And again, that your coaches are sticking to that, and directions like, hey, you know, we're doing our coach basics and let's put everyone in there and let's encourage them to participate, right? Obviously we can't force everybody, but we're going to have those conversations with these people so that they know what we expect, that they need to follow directions. And you need to be, you know, you have to have that posture, like, this will only work if you follow directions. And I will not work with you if you don't follow directions. So if you put them in there and they don't post and they're not complying, then you have another conversation saying, hey, remember when I told you that if you're not going to follow directions, I'm not going to work with you? I'm not going to work with you, because guess what? This business is a blessing, and we should all really, really understand that. Like, this was not put on our laps so that, you know, we can just be millionaires and just splurge all the money. No, we really do have a purpose with this business. So we have to really focus on that and be respected for that, you know? And then the last one is continuously invest in yourselves. Continuously invest in yourselves, which means that we're going to be, you know, doing a lot of personal development, whether, and I mentioned that, whether it's an audio, whether it's a book, whether it's attending workshop. What do those 4 rules have in common? They're all based on learning from other people. All of them, right? So that's what we need to really focus on, learning from other people to make sure that we are advancing in this business. Because we don't know, we don't have all the answers. I surely don't have all the answers. And that's why my job as your leader is to point you in the direction of learning from the people who got it right, who get it, basically. So those are the 4 things that we are sticking to moving forward, and that I want you guys to implement in your teams as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, with the way, so I'm listening now to a book by Darren Hardy called The Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster, and one of the things that he talks about is being a freak in your business. And I know the freak that we all know, and we're not talking about a dirty freak. But we're talking about, you know, Gab has actually become a freak with this business. And what that means by definition of that book is that she lives, breathes, and she, you know, this is more than a full-time job for her. And then we had a heart-to-heart and going to this course and saying, listen, if anybody, I gave her my opinion, you know, I'm under her. I'm not a Beachbody coach, meaning that I'm actually actively going out and looking for people. But I do help her with a lot of the things that I do with PD and give her some, you know, inspiration on that side and help her out, you know, and the administrative stuff. But I'm like, if I'm looking at what it takes to do this business and I'm looking at what you're doing and the amount of time that you're investing, I don't really think that I would be interested in doing that, especially if I have a full-time job already, right? It's like if I'm looking to, let's say, grow my Beachbody business to where I don't need a regular job and I can answer to myself, I'm not looking to give up one job to jump into another job or have 2 jobs. There's got to be a way that we can do this efficiently, focusing strategically on time where, you know, taking away a lot of busy work and just sticking to the type of work where, you know, it's going to move the business. So there was a lot of testimonials from a lot of business owners that were there, specifically the Beachbody coaches that we knew that were there, but they couldn't say they were Beachbody coaches. No one could say what you do, but everybody got up there. These are people who've been multiple workshops from this lady, and they all were like, I used to work 100 hours a week. I was a slave to my business. My team was looking at me like, you know, okay, you know, they were following me as well, but I just decided that I'm going to cut, you know, this one lady specifically cut her hours from 100 hours down to 25 hours. And her business grew twofold because she was spending time on focusing on what was moving her business as opposed to a lot of fluff. So, you know, I can go on and on because there was multiple testimonials of business owners there that were saying you don't need to work, you know, long hours doesn't relate to being successful. There's no doubt that you're doing a lot of, fluff work in there that you shouldn't be doing. And at the same time, you're going to turn off anybody that's on your team that says, I'm never going to be able to strive to where that person is successful because I don't have the time to commit to do all that, right? And the reality is you don't need to commit that time. If you commit, a specific amount of time, just enough that can move your business, this could be a happy endeavor. This could be a call where everybody gets on and everybody's loving to do this because we're excited, because at the end of the day, it's not another job. And the reason that Gab does this is so that she never has to go back to answer to anybody in corporate America like I do, like a lot of us do, because that's a drag. Because quite frankly, she can do whatever she wants and not answer to anybody. I, on the other hand, I have to ask when I want to take vacation. I have to, we all are in the same boat and we answer to somebody else, a boss. And the reality is we don't need another boss and we don't want to be a slave to the job. So there's definitely a formula. And that's why, Gab has committed to knock off the hours because, I asked her, I said, I think you're spending all day doing this, but are you doing effective work? Like, what are you doing? Are you doing things that are moving the business forward, or are you just draining yourself? Because it looks like you're just draining yourself. So we've come to that realization that she's going to improve on that, and it could be done. And the goal is working less time. And we would have only found out with the power of PD is really where you find these things out. Mm-hmm. You think that because you're spending so much time doing this, that it's going to make you better. Your business is going to be more successful. And that really is not that's not the formula for success. So just wanted to add that.
So I want these 4 words to govern our team, our business, our families, our relationships with our family, our husbands, our kids, just everything. So 4 words. Wives, husband, boyfriends, significant others. Look at Marty. Girlfriends.
I'm not talking to you, Marty.
So just your person, every decision that you are making, even down to like your activities, when you're working your business or when you're eating, when you're working out. So 4 words that she gave that I was like, yes. 1, and you could put it through the test. Is this good? Is this pure? Is this noble? Is this praiseworthy? Is it good? Is it pure? Is it noble? Is it praiseworthy? And, she gave like a dumb example, but it makes sense. Like if you're trying to lose weight, right? Which was up our alley, and you want to eat a donut. Is it good? Probably. It's good, right? But is it noble for you to eat that, knowing that you have goals to achieve, right? Is it noble? And is it praiseworthy? You know that if you eat that donut, you're not going to probably lose weight that week because it all adds up. So, and it was just a silly example, but it makes sense. So everything that we do in our business and our lives, is this good? Is this pure? Is this noble? Is it praiseworthy? So if you can just put it through the test, like if you are super tired and you don't want to, and just to go back to the business and you don't want to invite that day, just ask yourself those questions, is that going to help you reach those goals? Is it good that I'm not inviting? Is it pure? Is it noble? So just put it through the test. So being there really got my vision. Like my vision was big, but my vision got really, really bigger while being there. And again, we're not doing this seminar any justice. You just really have to experience it to know what we felt being there. So my vision, and I shared it, on a call with some of you guys is to see every single one of you guys advance your businesses to diamond and beyond. And obviously it's not because of the title. The reason I say diamond and beyond is because I know that that's when you are going to start seeing more income. And I know that, some of your goals is attached to some income. whether, is wanting to quit your jobs, fire your bosses, be home, pay debt, right? It's all, it really is all tied up to that. But it really got bigger than that. My vision now for Team Advent is for us to be able to help people, not just, and when I say people, I mean every single one of you guys and the future coaches that are joining us, and even people that are not a part of Team Advent as coaches. So our challengers, our families, our friends, strangers that never join us, everybody. I want to be able to give value back. And what I mean by that is helping every person that comes in contact with me to somehow improve their lives, whether that is financially, whether that is emotionally, spiritually, mentally, because we have so much more than just a fitness program. And going there opened up my eyes to, why do we have to close ourselves to just a fitness program and just Shakeology and just our challenge groups? We can give so much more. Many of you guys here are talented. I know that Cindy does a leadership, is it leadership workshop?
It's
Communication.
It's Covey Trust Training for the company.
So, and she's trained to do that. And so why not tap into what we're good at and give back, right? So my vision is for us to, for me personally, to get you guys financially healthy, physically healthy, emotionally healthy, and mentally healthy, so that you can then pay that forward to your families, to your friends, and to the needy. Because when I was there and I walked away Sunday night, I said to Jorge, while we're blessed to have this apartment, I always, and don't get me wrong, I still want to purchase a home that we can have more space so that my mom and Matias don't share a room. But it's bigger than that. It really isn't about a home. It really, because God has already blessed us. We already have a home. We already have food on our plates, and we have, coats. I know that Carol does that a lot. Every winter, she, has just partner up with other people to provide back and give back coats and socks and gloves and, to the needy, to the homeless people. So it's really bigger than us. It's really about helping someone who is in need, someone who can't fend for themselves. And I think that it was an eye-opener for me to know that God has been saying to me, and I haven't been listening, I'm taken care of. So really this opportunity for me is about helping others. So I want, you guys to know that, that's my focus. My focus is helping each and every single one of you guys reach your personal goals. Here, venga. Oh, EJ. Just helping each and every single one of you guys reach your goals, and so that you can then be at a position to be able to just pay it forward, Do you have anything else to add?
I think that's it. No?
Yeah, I just want Team Advent to be, recognized not just for a team that helps people lose weight, right? But really helps people all around, just a complete well-being. So, do you guys have any questions, any comments?
I do. I think it's great, the perspective and the position that you're bringing forward from the workshop. However, I must say that having your support within the whole process as I became a coach was important to me, because I realized that you can do this and you have the support and the energy. So I do respect the position that we're in, and that the direction you want to put the team. However, I think it's good to also make the coaches feel that we have their back as well. Because I know that if it wasn't because of you and that I had your support, I would be like, how am I going to do this as a single mom with a profession too? You know, so I think it was also beneficial. So it wasn't just detrimental. It might have been a clutch, you know, in order for us to maybe progress and develop leaders, but I don't think it was detrimental either. So I don't want you to feel like, you know, that was wrong direction or wrong leadership as well. I mean, you know, leadership also comes with growth and opportunity.
Right. No, and you know what? I appreciate that. I think that it's not that I'm saying peace to you guys. No, it's not that. I think it's more about I can't like I was losing myself to the team. I was available like I live like this. You know what I mean? And so what I'm trying to say is I want you guys to be present at whatever you're doing. So I wasn't doing that, you know. I'm here with Matias and I'm answering, you know, texts or private messages, or Jorge's trying to have a conversation. I'm like, hang on, this is important. You know what I mean? That's what I don't want you guys to live your lives like that. And I'm not saying that I'm going to bring in coaches and be like, yo, like, you got to figure it by yourself. No, but I'm going to point you in the right direction. You know, I'm going to say to a new coach, hey, if you have a question, you can totally figure it out by going to FAQ, and I'll show you where it is, or calling Coach Relations, because honestly speaking, that's how I learned. I learned by calling. I swear when I first started, I think that they all knew who I was, because I would call and they'd be like, oh, your voice sounds familiar, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, but it's okay, right? The thing is, the idea is that you get independent faster so that you can then, you know, grow your own teams. And I feel that if you know that Gabby has your back all the time, then there's no reason for you to just fly, right, on your own. So I'm not saying that we can't, you know, that I'm not going to be available in the chat. No, I'm not saying that. I am going to, you know, be in the chat. I mean, you guys are my team, right? And I'm going to be in our team group. It's just that I'm not going to be there all day like I'm used to, you know? And I think it's important that everyone in here chips in when there's a question in there, so that it's not just me, so that I don't feel responsible for every single answer that needs to be put out there. And so that I'm not answering the same question 100 times. Now, if it's something personal, right, I don't expect you to put it in the chat or on the team page. We all besides being business partners, we're all friends, which is why I think this team is so successful, right? We all trust each other. We all respect each other, and we've created that bond. So if there's something, you know, on your chest, or there's something that is not working out for you, yeah, call me, you know, tell me, Gab, I need to speak with you, and then we'll figure it out, you know. So don't think that I'm just saying peace and figure it out all by yourself. No, what I'm saying is that I'm trying to regain my life back, and I'm trying to, you know, have you guys also see that it is possible to work on a part-time schedule, because I think that I've created this idea that success, like my sister, she's like, I can't do what you do, and it's because I've created this by myself. Like, I've scared many of you away by thinking that you have to be working 24/7 in order to reach some level of success in this business, and that's not true. It's not true with any other business as well. As long as you allocate your time appropriately, I think that, you know, you guys will definitely succeed. But I'm not abandoning you.
Yeah, and I think that Coach Jimmy did mention it in one of his.
Hang on. Papi. ¿El qué? ¿El qué, mi amor? Pero es que no hay de eso, right? ¿Cómo? Oh, vaya con la abuela, pues. Not at this time, so he can let us talk. That's crazy, right? Vaya con abuela. Vaya. Venga. Muy bien. I don't even know why he remembers that. Vaya, mi amor, vaya con la abuela. Yeah. And two, use your strength and talent to help one another. Thumbs up. And forces us to step outside our comfort zone to grow. Okay, go ahead, guys. ¿Quiere con mami o papi? All right, he's good. Go ahead. Sorry, guys.
No, so I think that Coach Jimmy did mention, being, so I think this is a way of making us self-efficient. So I'm not misconstruing what you're saying. I agree. We all have to become self-efficient if we eventually want to lead our own teams.
Yeah, I think a lot of coaches, what they do as well, Cindy, is that at the beginning, and it's just a style, whatever works for the team. For me, I was like all in there with you guys, in the trenches, like all day, every day. Some coaches, what they do is that they allocate 20 minutes to 30 minutes of their time to each coach once a week for like the first 3 months, right? Until you're up and running and you feel comfortable and that kind of stuff. You discuss what you're confronting. You discuss the goals for that week. So it really is a kind of style way, which maybe we should move into, because then you're like really just boom, 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 going through things that matter, And then what I want to actually focus on more is spending time with you guys outside of Beachbody. You know what I mean? So that we can, bug out, spend time, relax, and not think about Beachbody, and obviously we'll spend time doing Beachbody things together as a community as well, so that we can all be together in one room, doing exercises, thinking about how we can better our team. So we'll be doing both of that, but I think that it'll work out. I think it'll work out. I don't think that it's just not in my nature to be like, get to Diamond and then we'll talk. There's coaches who do that. There's coaches that totally, say, here's the back office, here's FAQ, here's the number, national wake-up call number, jump on our calls, and when you get to Diamond, then you get my time. Like literally that's what they tell their people. I'm not joking. That'll never be me. That's not who I am, But I just want to regain, some of my time back. And I want you guys to be able to do the same. I want you guys not to think that this is a 24/7 type of job, because this should not be. Right?
Got it.
Anyone else?
I just, I was actually dreading meeting with you to discuss my goals, because I think from coming into the team and seeing where you were at and seeing where you set the bar, not only for you, but for everyone else, and everyone's achieving. And I see you on up until 2, 3 in the morning, because I'm on, and I've had my problems with my husband because of it, so if you're finding a way on how to do all of that in those 4 hours, I'm totally on board with you, because you have no idea. I mean, I think I'm the only one that also stays home, of how hard it is to stay home and to try to be successful, and I guess it's a lot of cushion work. I think that Jorge said that, you're doing that, and you do spend sometimes I've spent up to an hour and a half chatting with someone to get to know, and that, my husband sees me on like this and he's like, oh, we're here. Hello, okay, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to go to sleep. He's like, it's caused me problems. At the same time, we've learned different things. So for us, it's like on a scale, I've saw it as a scale, like, what do I want to do? I want to do it, but how am I going to do it? I can't keep doing it the same way, and we definitely took the decision that we're not enrolling Matilda into preschool, so for me, that puts a lot more pressure on me now, because she will be home all day, every day, so I think, like, I also got very scared with your apology. And I'm like, wait, no, that's it. Wait, if I start doing this, because, like, you showed me that you could do it. You showed me you could do it. That I feel a lot better. That I think, in a way, you sense that you're doing it wrong. Entre comillas. I feel a lot better that we're gonna find a different way on how to do it better. you know, so that's my
Let
part
me,
on it.
let me tell you, Gladys, because I know that you're going to be homeschooling Matilda. So, is that, I'm just going to, yep, that's fine. So, so Danny Johnson has been doing this for 27 years. She's homeschooled 5 kids. She's grown a successful, like, $1 million business in, whatever time frame, 27 years, working 20 hours a week. Okay. So, and there's nothing, I mean, she's special, but it's not, and what I mean by there's nothing special of, that we can't do. It's just that we are scattered with our time. We do this for like 10 hours and then you look at your day and you're like, did I invite? You know what I mean? And so basically we really need to focus our time, learn how to focus our time more efficiently. So if she could do it, and this is someone that, like I said, homeschools, has a business. She's a full-time mom, right? She's there for them. She cleans, she cooks. She's like, I have the money to bring someone in and help me, but she does it all herself because she wants to teach her kids that, it costs in order, that there's a value to everything that you do, basically. So I think that, and hey, I wouldn't have learned my lesson if I didn't fall on my face, right? And gain lessons from it. So I just want, and I think most of it, I'm doing it, yes, for me, but I also want to do it, obviously, like I said, for you guys, because you guys all work, you're busy, Gladys, even though you're a stay-at-home mom like me, I know what that takes, Matilda is all over you all day. So that's hard. I know. So basically, I just want us to have better quality of lives, and that whatever we are doing, we are really living the moment. So I don't want to look back and be like, damn, Matthias is 5. I don't remember when he was 2 or 3 or 4. Oh, but I'm successful. So, and I failed as a mom. And I want to succeed as a leader. I want to succeed as a mom. I want to succeed as a wife, right? Because, I mean, he can tell you, there were times that I'm like, I have a call or I have, because I wasn't allocating my time. Like, no me estaba dando importancia, and we are important. And whoever's going to come through our business, we have a time frame. I could talk to you from 9 to 10 or 8 to 10. And guess what? If they can't meet you, if they're really serious, they're going to accommodate their schedule to meet you there. And if not, God's going to send you someone else to help. And that's the way I'm looking at it at this point. All right. So thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? No? Good. Someone wrote something? Oh, Marty hit the sack. All right. So I think that, so if you guys are interested in going to the next Danny Johnson event, is in, I think I put it in the chat, is in February, at the end of February. It's in Texas. As I said to you guys, I think that I and Jorge don't do justice to the actual event. It was really just life-changing for me. And if you guys are interested, I'm actually going to have someone speak to you guys about the event, but more importantly about a boot camp that they have that is really going to take away from us. So like when you guys bring in people, we're going to plug them into them. And this way it'll take a lot of that busy work, right, that we do, or train someone, and then just really spending that quality time with them instead of spending that, little things or whatever, you may. So I think, it's a service that they provide. It's actually a free service. So I thought that was cool. And so they'll probably talk about he'll talk about the Danny Johnson event. And if you're interested, I would love to come with you guys. I didn't sign up for it because we signed up for the second half. and Jorge's gonna come with me to that one. But I would love to make it a girls' trip. Sorry, Rudy. Rudy said, "Hold up, why can't I come?" We trying to take Wendy, right? Wendy, he's the one that gets to travel all the time. Look at her face. So we taking Wendy, all right? You stay with the kids. I said it. No, but really, I think that it would be a good team building. I think that it would be amazing. If it's Texas or not, she comes to Ohio, we can go to Ohio, whatever. The idea is that you get to experience what we experience at that event. And I think that that's where, we grow. We grow from learning from successful people. So, all right. All right, guys. Thank you. Sorry that I was late on another call. And have a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.